Check, check. We're going.
This is Jared. Welcome to the Gadget Spot.
Woo! No Tony!
Yeah! Woo! So what we did is we hijacked Tony's shiz, and I'm sitting in Tony's spot. Why do I sound so much better?
Oh, we should lock him out of the room.
Go lock the door. Go lock the door.
Yeah.
Go lock the door.
That's not
okay.
very
So this is
nice.
the Gadget Spot. This is your one-stop podcast for games, news, and tech
You
and
look
gadgets.
taller, and your hair looks redder sitting
I know.
there.
I feel like there's a reason why he's. Oh my gosh, he's back! All right.
Get out of my chair!
Okay. Okay.
I told you he was gonna. I told you you're gonna enrage him.
What are you doing?
Okay.
You've enraged him.
2 seconds
All
to
right.
answer the door.
All right. So we already started, so we don't need to backtrack at all. This is James now.
All right, what's going on, Excitable James? What are we doing here?
I hate that name so much with my whole heart. I went ahead and pressed record while you were gone.
Well,
and
did you get the levels?
No.
No.
You didn't get the levels.
No.
No.
That's okay. They don't change from week to week.
Oh,
We're
okay,
all
cool.
right.
So you do that as a show every week?
A little bit.
Okay.
I double check.
I see.
double check.
Okay, we can back up and start over again for the people that have no idea what's going on right now.
Yeah.
You got a package in
I
the mail.
did.
Tony got a package.
In the mail,
Oh,
Jared.
finally! It's my dad's Christmas present that I ordered in November. What's
Wow.
today?
Curse those startup
January
Kickstarters.
23rd.
23rd.
Gosh, dang it! Merry Christmas, pops.
So
All right.
we're a podcast, and we're podcasting right now. We should introduce the panel.
Yeah, let's start in the normal order we go.
Hey, that's
Dang
me. Hey, it's Owen from the Gadget Spot. I like you guys, so
Ah.
hi.
We like you too.
You should follow me on Twitter at TechNoan. I say some pretty insightful things on there occasionally, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy your
Sure,
tweets.
buddy.
Yeah.
Not too much like Tony, but just enough to make me want more.
Yeah. So there you go.
Was that
Anyway,
a knock on me?
Yes.
I can't tell. I was confused after the
Felt
insult.
a little backhanded.
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure.
The insult stung,
It
but I
was
didn't know if it was for me. It was kind of like watching
Completely front-handed.
I'm feeling like this is very aggressive, and we need to dial this back.
a.
You should definitely open that door so we have some airflow.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Especially because I'm
Don't
gonna,
lock me
I'm
out.
Gonna break wind a lot
Just
during this
don't go out.
episode.
It doesn't lock. I learned that.
Anyway, yeah, and you can friend me on Xbox One. I play Titanfall 2. I'm trying to play that more so that I can level up and be cool.
You mean twice a month instead of once a month?
No, I have played every night this week.
Whoa.
Yeah,
It's,
really?
It's Monday.
But to be fair,
Every
you
night last week.
are
okay.
on the 3 kids schedule as
Yeah.
far as playing on Xbox.
So I
One.
play about exactly. I play in the evenings. So anyway, Mordieth84. Give me a follow or a friend on that or whatever.
Is that all one word? Mordieth 84.
Yeah, Mordieth 84.
You want to know the funny thing is I see you on more often now, and every time I get on, I'm like, who is this?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
that's a story of my life.
It's a capital M, right?
Yeah.
Just
Does that?
'cause
Oh, that
it is
makes
case
that.
sensitive
That's right.
on
And
Xbox
space
Live.
sensitive.
And space
but
sensitive.
I have no spaces because I'm not retarded.
Hey,
Agreed. I'm Jaren. Twitter is at Jaren, Jarron. I play Xbox on occasion. PlayStation Network on occasion. That's me. I'm done.
Really?
All right.
Yep.
Moving on
I
to
thought I had enough time to eat this chocolate.
moving on to
Nope.
Excitable James.
Keeping you on your toes.
What's up, guys? This
Look.
is James.
Excited.
You can find me on Twitter at JDD Jensen, or you can catch me on Xbox One or Xbox Live at Funeral Taters. That's capital F, Funeral space Taters with a capital T. Lately, I can't stand playing Titanfall.
Oh,
I've been trying to
get
get
out of
into it.
here.
I've been trying to get into it, and I only have fun playing with you guys. But even then, it's like what we talked about before. It's like when we group up, we get placed with harder people.
Yeah.
But when I play by myself, I rank up higher, but I
Yeah.
don't have as much fun. So it's kind of like a catch-22.
I guess I can understand that. I've tried to get into Battlefield 1, but I can't. Something about it, I just can't like it too
Yeah.
much.
I just barely got into the leveling part of it,
I'm a
like
Titanfall
leveling
guy.
up your Titan and your weapons and
Yeah.
everything.
It's
and,
fun.
and I'm a completionist, so this just became a lot more frustrating for me.
Well, see, the cool thing about Titanfall is you can regenerate your character after you get to level 50.
Oh, okay.
And
50 levels?
there's 50 levels for your
never
character.
knew
and then you prestige.
And you prestige, or that's in Call of Duty terms. In Titanfall, they call it regenerate.
Yeah.
And what does that do for you?
And it resets all the stuff that you opened. back
But
to
it gives
zero.
you,
Why
like,
would you
extra
want that?
stuff.
Why would I ever
But-
do that? That's what I'm
but
working towards.
You get extra skins and things like that.
No,
cares
thank
about
you.
skins?
Hang on.
Sorry.
Let me keep going.
Anyway,
Wow, you calmed that fire.
And I know I'm pretty good at that sometimes. Not usually.
the completionists over here were starting to
So
freak out.
here's the thing.
What?
Have you noticed how you're in credits when you play?
Yeah.
If you use credits to unlock anything early, that stays unlocked forever, even when you regenerate.
Oh, good.
So when you regenerate, if you got a bunch
But my
of credits,
weapons go back down to 0.
No, the weapons stay leveled up.
So
And then
what goes
even
back
when-
down to 0?
Wait, before we get too deep into it, do we want
Yeah.
to talk about who our
we,
host is
We
really
should
quick?
probably talk about.
Oh.
Hey, who are you?
That's unimportant information.
Hey, I'm Tony.
That's the voice of Tony.
Too Tall Tony. Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony, or on the Geek Show podcast, which I'm the producer of and a panelist on there. So,
All right, let's
yeah.
go back into the Titanfall talk.
So back into the Titanfall talk. If you regenerate everything you've unlocked as you level up, so like different Titans, different guns, different like
Additional mods, add-on mods.
add-on mods to your pilot, not to
Right.
the gun.
Not to the. Okay.
Because the guns, if you go look, the guns level up separately.
Yeah.
So
That's
and
what
you can
making.
regenerate your guns and stuff as well.
now
I
the
do
gun,
like that.
The gun regeneration is automatic. As soon as you hit level 20, it regenerates automatically, but it does not lock anything out. All it does is basically give you bragging rights.
Oh. I
But-
don't care about those. I just want.
No, I
stronger,
thought there
cooler
was
stuff.
like something extra, like you could add
You
your
get-
call sign on the side of the gun or
You
something
get
like
extra
that.
skins.
Yeah.
Who cares about that?
Yeah, let's move
people.
on. This is
Anyway,
But I'm not done talking about Titanfall
oh
2,
yeah, okay,
James,
that's all right.
because it is my current favorite game.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I really like that
suck
game.
at it when we're in a group, but when I play solo, I get matched with people that are more my skill level.
The other day, I nuked my Titan, killed like 3 Titans, 3 pilots, and a bunch of
How do you-
grunts all at once. I got like 36 points. It was awesome.
Dotson's over here. Dotson.
I don't
See,
get it.
nobody cares.
I don't
I
understand the
didn't
reference.
get that reference.
Really, Jurassic Park? You really don't get that reference?
No.
That's an old movie. Wow. I just haven't seen it in a long time.
How do you do electric smoke? That's what I need to know. I get rodeoed
So,
all the time.
Electric smoke builds up once you get your Titan, and
Ah.
after you've had it for, I think, like 30 seconds, it says electric smoke available.
It's more than 30 seconds. I think it's like
Or
2
whatever.
minutes or something.
All I
all
know
you
is
do
that
is
I look like a retard trying to get my. Sorry, that's an offensive term to some people out there.
Backtrack.
I look.
I love how you
look.
said it twice so far, too.
I look like a special needs
No,
Titan.
that's-
Even need, that's even
that's
worse.
worse.
That's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
I
move
look like
past this
I
and
look
read
like a
email.
malfunctioning Titan
There you go. Malfunction.
trying to get something out of my teeth.
Now you've offended all the Titans.
We're down
out
to
there.
2 listeners at this point.
Ugh,
Okay.
sorry for that.
So anyway,
Let's read email.
the point is Titanfall 2 is awesome, and if you're
Yeah.
not playing it, you should give it a
You
shot.
should.
Because the single player as well, fantastic.
It is good, short but
Oh,
good.
I will admit the campaign is amazing. I want to see, if you haven't gotten to it so far, a little bit of spoiler alert, but
we've all beaten it, but Jaren on the panel.
there's a time
I've gone
level
past that part
Yeah.
though. That
where
is
you can
amazing.
reverse time.
Yeah.
I want to talk about
It
this
is
a little bit later.
It is yeah, okay, we'll talk about
We'll
it.
Yeah.
come back to that. All right, we like to kick off the show with 2 things. Other than Titanfall 2 rambling and introductions, we also do if we have any emails or questions from Facebook, and we also talk about our awesome Patreon backers. So let's do the Patreon backers real quick, because that's shorter than the email,
And we love them.
and we love them mucho.
All right. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a way to kind of give back to the content providers, especially since what we do is free to the user or to the consumer. And it's kind of a way to help keep the lights on and to spread the love. What we use the money for is literally just keeping the lights on, like I said, and just marketing, boosting posts, and trying to widen the Gadget Spot family. If you want to help donate,
Tony
it's
can't afford utilities, so this is important.
No, those are the wrong lights. He's talking about the little LED lights.
Those he can afford.
Yeah.
Those
okay.
are really small.
If you want to help to contribute, we're at www.patreon.com/gadget spot. But this is the section where we'd like to just call out a couple of our upper level tier backers. What do we call them?
Tech daddies.
Our tech daddies.
And we want to just do a special shout out and thank you to them really quick. A very, very, very special thank you to AJ Jasper and also to Aaron Harris. Thank you guys so much. Also to Daniel Bruce, Brian Lee, Conrad Southworth, Valentine, or as I like to call him, Ramon. And a very special thank you to Adam Hecht as well. Thank you so much, guys. We really, really appreciate it.
Now, on the email, we got an email from Joe. He says, sorry, I'm late. Is he pregnant?
Nope.
I don't think that was
I don't
what
think
he was
that,
going for.
Nope.
I gave you an energy train right there.
Oh.
That you just chugga choo-chooed off the track.
Chugga derailed.
Let me just hide underneath the table.
So, okay, Owen, you're reading the email now.
I can't read.
Perfectly.
Don't put me on the spot.
All right. Crawling back from underneath the table. He says, hi, friends. Happy anniversary. I should have emailed sooner. I heard that it's the 1 year anniversary on your most recent podcast.
Huzzah!
And realized I've been meaning to email you for over a year.
Wait, you guys started a year ago? I only started like 3 months ago.
No,
Don't worry about
you
it, James.
started 3
I'm
months
just-
into the
just kidding.
podcast.
I enjoy your show very much and want to thank you for doing it. To me, the most important aspect of this
What?
type of a panel podcast is whether or not I can relate to the panel. I honestly feel like I could hang out with you guys and participate in the conversation. That aspect is what makes the podcast enjoyable and engaging to me.
Really quick, what we need to do sometime is we need to set up an opportunity like a meet and greet. Not like to where like we have people come and like be like, you guys are so awesome, which is obviously going to happen. But like I kind of want to meet a couple of our listeners and actually have like a conversation with them as to like what they find interesting on the show or like things that they would like to help to contribute to the show. Because I feel like our show is more a community show.
Okay,
That was it? Really?
do it.
It's that easy? I don't want to do it.
Do it,
You
James.
just said you wanted to do it.
Oh, fine, I'll do it.
Details forthcoming.
Yeah,
details.
Keep going, Jaron.
Now, to switch tones completely, I wanted to let you guys know how your opinions helped me spend around $1,000 this year
yeah.
and made me
Whoa.
happier. This is awesome.
We're doing a good job.
Yes.
Service to society.
You're welcome.
So he bought a Nighthawk router and a surfboard.
Hey,
Well-
so did
well
I. I bought a
done.
Nighthawk
Hey,
router
those
too.
are two good pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
Over the
I like
podcast
those.
high five.
He bought a LG HDR TV.
Yeah.
So congratulations there.
What
65
size?
inch.
Oh wow.
I'm jelly.
Yes.
I
Ooh,
want
that's a
to
good
upgrade
TV.
this year. We'll see what happens.
And he also bought the Philips wake up light. All good recommendations.
Oh, okay, write us right now. Whatever you're doing, pull your car over because most likely you're listening in the car like me. I want you to write us an email right now, thegadgetspotcast@gmail.com. Let me know how it has changed your life right now.
Whoa.
I want to know.
This is intense.
Very demanding.
I like it.
I say get to your destination first, and then.
Nope. If you're on the 15, just pull it over.
I guess you can say when I turn on the G spot, it makes me happy. Rim shot.
Do you say
All right.
rim shot?
That's what he said in the email. I'm reading it.
I don't think you can say rim shot.
Sure, you can.
I'm
That's
reading
a
the
drum.
email.
That's a drum
You know,
technique.
but
Rim shot.
It's
It's
a
not.
snare.
It's no. That's,
It's referred to as a rim
These
shot.
guys don't know.
All right, so moving along.
what have you been?
All right.
What have you been watching, James?
Do you-
What rim shot are you thinking about?
Nothing.
Okay.
All right, last part. Jaron. Oh, he's talking to me.
Hey, Jaron.
Hey, this sounds nice. Jaron, Uncharted is not that great. Huh?
He's crying.
I like how you kind of paused when you read that too.
It just isn't.
Oh,
Admit it to yourself,
Twice.
and you will become less vinegary.
Look at his face. He's so vinegary.
You will be happier. This is coming from someone that has 3 out of 4 platinum trophies. The series, while visually beautiful with engaging stories, has some of the stupidest reasons for long, terrible, unfun platforming sections.
What does it mean to have a platinum trophy?
means you get every single other trophy in the game.
Oh, wow.
That's the perfectionist trophy.
Thanks for taking that thing away from me. I was playing with it.
So-
Yeah, me too.
I wish this was over, but he keeps going. Speaking of BS segments, you saying you love Uncharted 4 so much that you haven't finished it so you can savor it is the biggest BS of them all.
Ew.
This is the best email we have ever gotten.
Stands for
He
battery.
Actually-
not only
Doesn't that stand
listens
for
to our
battery?
advice,
Battery segment.
but he's ripping on Jaron, and
know.
Jaron is getting more
Hey.
and more red. It's amazing.
Getting flustered here.
He's gonna
Actually,
lose hair over this.
I saved it for the PlayStation 4 Pro so I could enjoy the better graphics.
Which is BS.
What? It has great graphics. That game is a slog, and the story is convoluted per usual.
Oh man.
man.
He does not go
not
shallow.
pull- no.
He cut deep.
He's not pulling
I'm
punches.
only halfway through.
Oh, ouch.
Keep it going, buddy.
It looks pretty, but honestly, between the QuickTime events, the shooting gallery arenas, and the long, boring platforming sections, the game is a letdown and a clone of the last two in so many ways. I wanted to enjoy it more than I did. I think you do too. It's okay. It's not your fault. If you tell someone where the Naughty Dog touched you, you can heal and allow yourself to open up to better games.
Oh man.
I love this guy.
Sick burn.
It's not over yet. Listen, Uncharted 2 was one of the most entertaining games I've ever played when I played it when it was released 8 years ago. It was, for me, the pinnacle of the series. Even then, I'm pretty sure the best Uncharted game is Tomb Raider from 2013.
With the pointy boobies.
I love jumping
No,
off
there
the
was no
cliff in that
pointy-
game. I climbed to the highest spot I could find and jumped off in that game.
In
Just
Tomb
to-
Raider?
Yeah, just to do the swan dive.
Great game.
Listen, I understand fandom. Trust me, I have a tattoo to prove it. But if you're completely honest with yourself, you will realize that wanting a game to be amazing because of past entries and experiences does not a great game make. In fact, it makes you a biased reviewer. Just enjoy it for what it is and be happy, like me. Someone who found the G-spot. Best wishes, Joe.
Joe, I would like
that
to,
was
on
it.
top
Alright.
of the email that you're going to write, I would like to see a picture of the tattoo. Picture it
P.S.
didn't happen.
P.S. I think I need to commend Apple for the bravery as well. So brave, so very brave. All right. Since you don't have a microphone and I do, here we go.
I also have a microphone.
I
and I'm
never
gonna defend
claimed
him.
I never claimed to be an unbiased reviewer, and I think every reviewer out there is biased to a degree. So whatever.
Well, there's
Some are
nothing-
just more biased than others.
But hey, I agree. I don't play Uncharted for platforming or shooting. I play it for the story. If I wanted to play a game for platforming and shooting, right now I'd play Titanfall 2, which I am doing. Titanfall 2 has amazing platforming for a first-person shooter, and has amazing shooting as well.
He's deflecting.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
going-
this is called deference.
Going back to Uncharted,
Yes, deference.
now I'm going back to Uncharted, you see. The reason I love that game so much is the story. Jaren likes his stories. And I understand that the gameplay isn't the best. I always have known that. But it has such great characters, and I really, really love the story, which is a subjective thing, but many reviewers out there seem to agree with me, so that's fine.
In Uncharted, I always found like they did game level design first, and then everything else was kind of secondary, in my opinion.
I would say that's the opposite. Probably game level design was last.
Yeah, the game level...
Story was first.
In Uncharted?
In Uncharted, definitely story, voice acting, and
Voice acting is amazing.
and cutscene presentation.
What's
Those
really
were
cool
first.
about
I
Uncharted
don't
are the set pieces, like Uncharted 2 with the train, Uncharted 4 going down the whole city in a truck thingy, Jeep. It was a Jeep.
Did you
And
just
then-
say a truck thingy?
Yes.
I think
How
he said
messed up
Jeep.
did this email just make you?
He's very flustered.
What
I'm
is
very
scrambled
flustered.
eggs to you?
When did he
Eggs?
send
Mixed
that?
chicken placentas?
What?
When did he send that? How long have you been stewing over?
12 days ago.
Almost
Oh.
2 weeks.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
So,
It's been stinging.
you know what? I respect your opinion, but you got to
stinging.
respect my opinion too. And Uncharted is the best game ever!
Oh,
He says
he
defensively.
did it.
Nah, I really like it. So, there you go. That is all.
Can you turn my headphones
Where-
down just a little bit?
where did
It-
you-
It
where did-
burns my earballs.
Where did Naughty Dog touch you?
Everywhere, and
in
I
the,
liked it.
In the heart?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It did.
That's what I thought.
That's better.
Another we got a Twitter question from Cody.
Hey, Cody.
Is this Cody? What's his last name?
Mr. Pixlix.
Yeah, we'll just
Mixed
say Cody.
Pixelix.
Mixed Pixelix.
He says, "Is Zelda an RPG? Yes or no?
Oh, I have things to say.
Can we get the panel's thoughts on the next podcast?"
Yes, you can.
All right, Tony, go.
Zelda
Wait,
is...
no. Let's
It
talk
is.
about this during my segment.
Oh, you have stuff to talk about with
Oh.
Zelda?
Did you not see my show notes?
No, I didn't look.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
I was caught up on
He only looks at
organizing-
important show notes.
Oh man, that was harsh, Jared. Jaren's angry today.
Yeah, he is.
And vinegary. What can I say?
Wah, wah.
Oh, he's doing.
Okay,
you're doing a list.
I am doing a list.
I love his lists.
Okay, so
James,
we'll get.
I like your list.
We'll get to that question, Cody,
appreciate that.
a little bit later in the show.
And Joe, thank you for your email. Really,
I enjoyed the debate.
That was salty sounding.
it was. I tried to be as genuine as possible.
That was you
That's
trying.
my genuine.
Do you guys feel that? Do you
Joe
feel
was-
that? It's the burn.
Joe was genuine. He really let you know how.
At least he was straightforward.
Yeah.
He'd be fun to talk to in person.
You know, I touched a griddle yesterday, completely on, without even realizing it. It hurt. Now that's a burn.
All right, so
That is all.
We're going to talk a little bit about some CES Part 2 action.
Oh, man.
no,
Back
dude,
to
let's do
that.
Nintendo first. That's the most exciting news.
You're right. Let's do
mine.
Nintendo
Let's
first.
do my
Oh.
section first.
No, everyone wants to go first.
It's kind of about
it's-
Nintendo.
Nintendo's all of us, dude.
Yeah.
All of us.
Nintendo's
Oh, right.
first.
Who- Whatever.
So Nintendo announced, I should say detailed a little more the Nintendo Switch, which for those of you who don't know what the Switch is, it's the new gaming platform for Nintendo. Now there's a caveat with the Switch that I don't think a lot of people are taking into account. It is actually, in my opinion, and some of the people I've read online, it is a mobile platform first.
I
What
agree.
do you
Really?
guys think about that?
Yeah.
I would say
have
that-
they released the battery life on?
Yes,
the
they
Switch?
have.
3 to 6 hours.
That's it?
Well, I mean,
Ooh, it's like the Game Gear.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah,
no,
no
it's like the
joke.
3DS.
But the
That's
3DS,
what the 3DS
the
is.
3DS, depending on the game, can be 3 to 6 hours.
Get those AA batteries ready, am I right?
It's a rechargeable
That's right.
lithium-ion battery.
I'm really excited about it.
I'm super
it looks cool.
excited.
Yeah.
So
I do love portable gadgets, though. So
Is it touchscreen?
I'm biased.
it is a touchscreen.
Okay.
Capacitive, finally.
Yep. So capacitive, meaning it doesn't require any certain amount of pressure for it to work, just the touch of skin.
Like smartphones.
Or a stylus.
Or a stylus, yep. So things they announced about it was they confirmed things like the screen resolution on the device itself, which is 720p.
Which for a screen that small, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
720 is
it's
fine.
fine. Honestly,
It's low, but it's not so low to
it's
be
not
concerned.
too low.
Yeah, it's not too low.
What's the dimensions on it?
It's a 6.2
Yeah, it's
inch screen.
So
so
70,
it's a little bit
720 is
a little
fine.
bit bigger than the Vita.
yeah.
So it looks bigger in pictures than it really is.
Well, you end up with, if you thought the Vita was a good looking screen, you end up with a higher pixel per square inch
Yep.
on the Switch anyway.
Yep.
So as long as it's a good quality LCD, you're going to like it. It's
Yeah,
gonna,
and
it's
the
gonna
price
look
point
good.
isn't terrible either.
So the price point they announced $299 for the system by itself, no pack-in game, which is kind of a bummer.
The add-ons, however.
The add-ons, however, now here's the thing: they are a little more expensive than you would think, but they also have quite a bit of technology packed into them themselves.
Yeah, initially when I saw the Joy-Con controllers, it didn't look too fancy to me, but there's some impressive tech in there.
So it's got your gyroscopic sensors. It's got infrared depth sensing sensors. Owen's got infrared.
Oh yeah.
It's
Hey!
it's
Awesome.
Owen's here.
No, I was just reading about the controllers. Actually,
Yeah.
the left and the right are actually different functions. They're
And-
not mirrored.
yep.
So one handles the amiibos, right?
Amiibos.
Amiibos and other connected toys, and the other one does the infrared sensor,
And
so
then
it
they-
can see the monitors.
it's basically a Wii Motion Plus, but
Yeah.
much smaller.
But much smaller and hopefully
better.
more accurate and things like that. The one thing that they didn't really go into that I haven't been able to find confirmation of is they only talked about one side when they referred to the HD Rumble. Is the HD Rumble in both sides?
I thought it was.
It would have to be, because the thing that's cool, one of the things that's cool about this system is you can take those Joy-Cons off the side of the system and use them separately as two separate controllers. So I would think that you would want HD Rumble in both,
And this
because
HD
otherwise one person would have Rumble and then your second player wouldn't have
If
Rumble.
I'm not getting Rumble and Surround, then what's the point?
And this HD Rumble actually sounds really cool. It's not just a typical vibrate. Apparently, you can feel like ice cubes or marbles rolling around in it.
Different tactile sensations. Similar to what I was reading, similar to the Steam Controller Rumble. The Steam Controller Rumble is unique in that aspect as well. It's not just a little motor that spins. So
Speaking of which, did you ever play a
RTS?
RTS?
I did not.
Oh.
I don't like RTSs. I did buy and download Homeworld Remastered, which would be a perfect one to do it with. I just haven't got around to it. Anyway, back to the Switch. What else did they talked about the docking station a little bit. There wasn't really any new news on the docking station, except the bottom of the Switch, the connector is a USB Type-C.
That's good. So you can charge it with
with a USB Type-C
a new standard cable.
Yeah.
It's new,
And
but
so
it's standard.
you end up with USB Type-C for charging, as well as that will be the pass-through that you dock it with.
Yeah, and they confirmed that the dock doesn't have any additional horsepower in it. But if it is docked, it will be able to run faster because it's not just running off a battery, and it could
Right.
run the processor at full tilt.
Yeah, so it's not that it provides extra compute, it just provides more power so that you don't have to run the processor or the GPU at an underclocked frequency like it is when it's off the dock to conserve battery. They also detailed a few of the games.
And actually, when they detailed Zelda, they kind of hinted at the kind of power the Switch has. So on the Wii U, the Zelda game runs at 720p, but on the Switch it runs at 900p.
When it's docked.
When it's docked.
When it's undocked, it's also at 720p because that's the native resolution of the screen.
So probably not nearly as powerful as the Xbox One, but it is more powerful than the Wii U. And the Wii U is about as powerful as the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
So in between Xbox 360 and Xbox One.
And they also...
There it is.
Not them. A couple videos I've seen analyzing gameplay footage from when people were actually allowed to play Zelda themselves instead of just watch a video on it. They've confirmed that it definitely does run smoother as well on the Switch versus the Wii U. It's almost locked 30 frames per second on the Switch, whereas the Wii U, at least at the point that they were playing the last build of it, suffered from semi-frequent drops into the mid-20s frames per second. So you get a smoother experience on the Switch as well.
Yeah.
Was there any other thing? Some of the other games they announced, you got Splatoon 2.
But let's be honest, it's just a Zelda player.
It is a Zelda player until
For
April
now,
28th when they have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm excited for that.
Honestly, what I'm getting it for right there.
That's pretty exciting. I might consider. I passed on the Wii U because I was like, nah, kids are playing the Wii because I don't like waving my hand around.
What's new in the 8 Deluxe?
So 8 Deluxe has everything, including all the downloadable content you could buy for the first Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, but then they're also adding 16 new levels and a couple of new characters to play as well as a brand new battle mode. So I mean, it's a pretty sizable upgrade.
It's good and bad news for Wii U owners. Like, I don't think it's enough of an upgrade to pay a full $60 again.
No.
If you already have it as a Wii U, if you already have the Wii U, but since a lot of people don't have the Wii U, like me and Owen and
Not
James.
me anymore. I got rid of it.
I think it's worth it. So
so I think I'm going to pick up the Switch. Probably not.
What else?
Probably not at launch, but a little bit after.
If all of us pick up the Switch, we could sit here and play all together.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
The other thing that they showed
just like
off,
Karen.
The other game they show off, which I thought at first was going to be a packing game, but it ended up not being. It'll be because there's no packing game, but it's kind of like the equivalent of when the Wii came out. You had Wii Sports.
Oh yeah,
that came with the Wii. This is called 1-2 Switch, and honestly, I'm not excited to play that game.
Yeah.
But it basically, they try to get you to use the Joy-Cons and play these kind of Wario Inc. style mini games with the Joy-Cons, and you're supposed to not have to look at the screen very much, I guess.
Wait, then what's the point of playing the game?
Because you have the infrared blasters and stuff like that, so you could do like a quick draw game. They showed one that was milking a cow.
Really bizarre.
What a weird video.
Super
bizarre
weird
stuff.
Yeah.
Like if they bundled it with the Switch, sure, okay, whatever. But $40, isn't it? $40 for the game.
It's $40.
Like, look, I can milk a cow.
That's
my favorite game.
That with all the really expensive peripherals, it's starting to feel like they're nickel and diming us. Like
a little bit.
Yeah.
$70 for the Pro controller, that's kind of crazy. $90 for an extra dock, even though there's nothing in it except for plastic, pretty much.
You know, I'm going to say on the dock, yes. On the Pro controller, I don't think it's that much of a stretch because
it's $10 more than Xbox One or PS4 controller.
Right,
true.
and it has more technology packed into it.
Does it?
Yeah, you have all the gyroscopic stuff that you have in the
Nobody's-
Joy-Con.
So does a PS4 controller.
Nobody cares about that stuff at this point in time.
But they're hoping you will.
Just you can slap a $10 paycheck thing on a turd, and I'll still call it a turd.
I don't think that went anywhere.
That's a pig.
It's a
You're
turd.
looking for like pig on a lip, lipstick on a pig there.
Yeah, that's the one you're looking
That's
for.
where you're going.
It's
You
still
can
a
put
pig.
lipstick on a
It's a turd.
pig. It's still a pig or a turd.
So
It's a turd.
anyway, and the Joy-Cons themselves, if you want to buy a double pack, is now this is the one that confused me a little bit. If you want to buy a double pack of the Joy-Cons, it's $80. If you want to buy a single Joy-Con, it's $40.
No, it's 50.
Oh, it's 50?
It's 50.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
more sense. Because I was like, they're not going to give you any sort of a discount for buying two at once. But anyway, so yeah, $80 for two more Joy-Cons. I mean, their
pricey.
accessories are pricey, but they're packed with some interesting new tech, and also they're Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo's accessories have always been a premium.
Yeah. Well, one thing they didn't announce, there were rumors a few months ago that the Switch would be able to emulate GameCube games.
Yeah.
If it supported that on day one, I would be super excited about my pre-order. Because then I'd
I love how
download
you,
Super
like,
Smash Brothers Melee.
As opposed to like a begrudging pre-order.
That's what he has right now.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Final good.
Exactly. If it emulated GameCube games, I'd be so excited.
If you don't enjoy it, then why are you getting it?
Because
He wants
it'll be
Zelda,
sold
man.
out for months, and I wanted to get in before it got sold out.
Eh.
And I wanted Mario Kart, so...
And
Well,
Zelda.
Mario Kart's not coming out for a couple months, though. You could just wait till Mario
Yeah,
Kart
I'm gonna
comes out,
wait.
and I guarantee it's going
I'm
to
gonna wait
Assuming
till
assuming it's widely available to buy, but history shows that Nintendo consoles, they constrain supply, so it's
yeah.
hard to get.
Yeah, they definitely have it. They have a history of.
Well, I know where to steal two
As a
from
consumer,
already.
why are we putting up with this stuff then? Why don't we just not buy it?
That's
If we,
what happened to the Wii U.
begrudgingly-
Did they care?
They didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
People get it.
So anyway, that's
People like James will buy it. way closer to the release of the Switch and then sell it immediately.
You're supposed to be nice to me, Owen.
Sorry.
He'll buy one a month
I meant
before,
another.
before the Switch 2 comes out, and then he'll just sell it.
It's not going to be called the Switch 2. It's going to be called the Revolution.
Oh, right. So anyway, that's kind of the things we saw about the Switch. I don't think we really missed anything. We covered.
Here's a question: What do you guys think the name the Switch? Have they explained what that?
Yeah, because you can switch from a home console to
Seriously, Owen?
to a mobile
seriously?
console.
Yeah, like
Switch.
I don't think that's it. I think that there's something deeper.
You did watch
You're kidding, right?
any of it, right?
Yeah,
You've seen any pictures?
A little.
It's definitely
browsed.
It's
One
definitely-
or two.
It's definitely because
The
it
thing-
easily switches from mobile to home console.
I don't
and
know
back.
if I don't know if I'm going to get on board with that.
You're going to call it Switch for another reason.
I want my console to be one thing.
Yep. If I want to play a mobile
And
device, I'll play a mobile device.
A lot of people are mad about that because it's not one thing, and so people who want an ultra-fast home console aren't getting it.
Yeah, that's
But-
what I was waiting for.
Yeah, but
To them, I say get a PlayStation 4 and Xbox.
Yeah, I was
mean,
going to say
can't
this
play
is more,
Mario Kart on
I
this.
mean, it's the best of both worlds. Well, it's not like the best, but
It's
it's like
the-
the mediocre of both worlds.
No,
Doesn't this
no,
undercut
no.
the best of the
3DS?
portable world.
It is the absolute
Yeah.
best of
Yeah.
portable
Yeah.
right now.
Doesn't that undercut their whole mobile DS market?
One
they
would
have
think,
stated numerous times that the
Yeah.
3DS is not going away.
which is bull crap.
How much is a 3DS right now?
It is
$200.
$200. So for $100 more, you get the Switch, right?
Yeah, which
but,
is complete bull crap.
Well, I mean, at this point, there are many, 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 many more games for the 3DS than
Yeah,
there are for the
that's
Switch.
true.
So you're buying a library,
And backwards
a
compatibility.
library of possibilities.
Their launch lineup is a little sparse. I
Well,
think.
they're relying 100% on Zelda.
So
Yeah.
it's
I
going to
mean,
have a SD slot there.
it
How
will
long
have-
do you think it'll be before people just sideload and do like their own homebrew install in there?
a few months.
Well, I sure hope
Yeah.
soon.
I don't know. I mean, well, didn't the Wii U has a SD slot?
Oh yeah.
Is there an active mod community for that?
You know, I never got the Wii U. I didn't look into that.
Yeah.
I know on the Wii they did, but it was a really complicated install to hack the Wii. So, and in fact, actually involved drilling through parts of the
Oh wow!
of the chipset.
Through
Anyway.
the chipset?
Yeah.
not just the case.
Nope, you had to drill through and
Ugh.
short out a certain chipset. I guess
That sounds awful.
I never did it, but I read on it because I have a Wii. Anyway,
Nintendo. All right, let's talk about CES. We got part 2. A few more things that we
Part
wanted
two, part
to cover.
two.
This one, real quick, is it's called the Z Swift Point. It's a new mouse. Uses all mechanical buttons. But the thing that's cool about this is it has a platform you can put it on while you're playing that connects magnetically, and there's gyroscopic sensors built into this mouse so that you can lean the mouse.
Oh,
right
so
or
it's
left.
like an engineering mouse.
Yeah.
That has the. It's supposed to be like if you're reaching through your computer screen.
Yeah.
And you can pick it up and manipulate.
and manipulate
objects.
it. Yeah. Now you can't. There's no point in picking up the mouse, but you can
No,
lean.
but yeah, you can.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for games like Space Sims, you can bank and stuff with the mouse.
oh yeah, gives
Or,
you different access control.
Yeah, different access control or racing games. But the other thing that was really neat about this mouse that they showed me was the two right and left click are analog. So instead of having to hold down right click and then click the left click to shoot, so like hold down right click would bring your gun up to sights, and then click left click to shoot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So instead, you just press lightly on the right side, and that would bring the gun up, and then you push all the way.
Oh,
and
so
that
it's like
shoots the
taking a
gun.
picture on a camera.
Yeah, like taking a picture on a camera with a focus.
Yeah.
So anyway, it looked pretty cool. It's a premium product, though. I believe they said the price was somewhere around $180 for a mouse.
Yeah, but
Wow.
if you're an engineer and you've bought I can't remember for the life of me what the name of the mouses are, but they are the 3D mouses. Those are anywhere
Pretty
between
expensive as
80
well.
to like $300.
Yeah. So this is from a company named SwiftPoint. But I demoed the mouse and I thought it was pretty cool. It's got quite a bit of potential, but is definitely for the well-heeled high-end PC gamer.
Well, I wouldn't even say the gamer, but like people who like to do simulations through like Blender or something on their computer where they're using like 3D models all the time, and you're wanting to manipulate in 3D space on your computer, that would be super helpful.
Probably work pretty well as well. So kind of neat.
What was it called? What was it called again?
SwiftPoint is the company, and it says the Z,
Okay.
which I think refers to the Z axis.
Yeah.
Axis.
X.
Anyway.
Being able to rotate across.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Okay. Is this Jaron Redisa? Is that the one that we looked at?
Yeah, this is the augmented reality glasses.
Yeah, no, is it?
Well,
yeah, these are the ones that were in the sands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about this one.
Wait, sands. What's that?
He's super prepared for this.
We looked at
the Sands.
So what did you do while they were in CES?
Remember when we were at the Sands Expo Center?
I complained.
All right, so we saw some augmented reality glasses, kind of like Microsoft's HoloLens, but it's not a huge headset. It's just like tiny glasses instead. And the display was super sharp.
Because he explained to us that it's not a display. It beams lasers beam the image onto your retina.
Okay, we're talking about two different things. This is not that.
You're thinking of the
pretty
ODG.
Much
This is the one that
lasers in my eyes.
This was a very small booth.
You can
I know what you're talking about, but this is not it.
That's not it.
You can perform LASIK eye surgery on yourself at home.
All right, let's talk
step.
about those two different things since we brought both of them up.
What happens if you have cuts in your retinas?
James.
Shut up your face.
Anyway, so the augmented reality glasses, the display was super sharp, and
that's these ones, right?
Yeah. What's the brand?
ODG.
ODG. They had them like all on a table, so you couldn't remove them. So they're most likely powered by a power source within the table.
Yeah. So it was
a little smarter than
it was a
Razer.
It was a big round table, and they had all the glasses on posts that you could look to the center of the table.
Who knows what battery life is going to be? And they got super, super hot.
They got really, really warm.
But the display was amazing. It was really, really sharp. A whole lot smaller than the HoloLens.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep your eye on. Assuming battery life is okay.
One of the things that was interesting too about it was the opacity of the augmented reality projection. You couldn't see through it to the table at all. It wasn't like slightly translucent at all where you could see the stuff going on behind it. It was as though it was there in front of you.
Yeah.
I want to get the FLIR attachment for these so it could like infrared the FLIR. Sorry.
FLIR?
Yeah. FLIR infrared.
Explain.
It's the FLIR lens. They don't really have that on there, but I figure if you're looking at an image and it says the brochure there says change the way you work, that'd be cool to have like some heat sensing glasses there that were, have you ever heard of the FLIR?
Oh yeah. Okay, so you can see the temperature of the surface you're looking at.
I could walk around at night and see heat things. I don't know.
Because everyone wants to.
Because everybody wants to see how hot something is before they walk over there.
What's that bright spot? That's a turd.
That's a somebody
dog. That's
has
a dog turd.
Somebody has defecated in the park on the bench.
Tony, I decided you're right. This is the one we saw that small booth.
I told you.
The picture though, it has like full on glasses on there.
That's the one that puts lasers into your eyes.
Yeah, but the model we tried, I think it's the glasses are an attachment because the one we tried weren't full glasses.
It seemed, and the other thing was it definitely didn't take into account pupillary distance.
What about glasses wearers?
Well, you'd have to get prescription lenses put into it, kind of like what Google Glass was doing.
Right.
But yeah, it's retinal projection, so a laser pretty much shining on your eye, and it's weird. It's like a heads-up display,
basically,
for your brain.
Yeah.
The image was pretty small and limited to one eye, but it was cool. And you're like Tony said, your eyes don't have to focus on it, and the image was bright, but it looked good.
I would like to try those out. I'll have to go to CES next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only problem with those was, like I said, they don't take into account your pupillary distance. So I put the glasses on, and it wasn't anywhere near shining into my eye.
Right.
So I had to lift the glasses off
and
get
it
push
right.
them to the left so that it was actually shining into my eye, so I could see what the effect was.
I see.
But it was pretty neat.
That's pretty cool. So it didn't actually no hardware adjustments to fit a face.
No, you would have to have that pupillary distance taken into account when you buy it and have it adjusted.
They do that.
Yeah,
I bet they custom fit your face or something.
And the HUD was pretty cool. It was almost kind of like there was a floating, probably 30-inch screen.
That's
kind of off in the distance, not very far, a few feet ahead of you. So isn't that exactly what Google Glass was?
Yeah, I think it was. And James, I'm sorry I parented you.
It's fine.
I still feel raw from that Uncharted stuff.
It's fine.
What did you parent him? How?
He said, James.
And I quieted down.
And it was like watching that dog trainer episode of South Park where they go, tss, tss,
on the back of the neck?
Yeah, tss. And James
I'm not talking.
James is like, mom. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What else have we got here? Add motion to your VR. Oh yeah. So this was
The throne.
This was the throne. There's a picture of me. It's probably the worst picture I've ever taken in my life.
This is the
Facebook.
non-flattering picture.
It's
yeah.
like out of Wall-E.
Yeah.
It's so this is basically a chair that you sit on that's very, very similar to the D-Box seats in theater.
It's so much better though than D-Box seats.
You liked it
How
better?
much were they?
Oh yeah,
Well,
like
you liked it better because you were hooked up to VR.
no, like it feels like the D-Box seats. They just rumble pretty much, and that's it.
That's true. These move.
This moves like
tilts you very far forward.
my
very far
simulation
back.
was I was like on this big giant swing in the middle of a city, and it would like tilt you forward, tilt you back, and it actually felt like that you were on a swing, except for the G-forces thing. But
yeah, you don't feel any of the
but
actual gravity.
Other than
Yeah.
that, it a whole lot better than D-Box.
So it said it has up to, 70 degrees of tilting.
Wow.
So that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
Make you feel like you're falling on your
They
face.
strap you
Right.
in with
I was
the
going to say
seatbelt.
you're strapped in, so you don't slide out.
I'm not gonna lie. If I ever get a divorce, I'm buying this and then buying a airplane simulator
You just fly
and
around.
VR. Yeah, and just fly.
Let's hope your wife's not listening.
She'll be the one to leave me. So plot twist.
But the demo I did was of a haunted house. It was basically camera on rails where you're the camera and you walk around looking at the different things as they pop out and try to scare you and whatnot.
Did you get scared?
Oh,
No.
so your demo probably wasn't nearly as 360
Yeah,
as
no.
mine.
That's what I mean. Like, to me, it was a step above the D-Box because I tilted really far forward and really far back at one point, but it never felt super dynamic.
Mine was very dynamic. I was tilting
So-
all over the place.
But they don't have a price on here, but I'm sure it'll be very expensive. This is one of those things that you get, if you're super rich and have a VR room you
What's
want
it
to
called
build or
again?
something. It was called Simulation.
Inno Simulation.
Yeah.
Cool.
But really, really neat to experience. It's really cool to see how the technology is heading and what directions and what they're doing with it. This is supposedly coming out Q1 of this year. So
Sweet. So if anybody wants to just, send one over for us to test out,
yeah,
that'd be fantastic.
we'll do it.
I would sit in it.
Big giant box.
Now I saw several of these at CES.
Bluetooth speakers. Bluetooth headphones.
A million of those.
Smartphones.
No, let's get more specific. The heads-up display converters for your phone.
Oh,
I want one of those.
These are actually
that
pretty
looks
cool.
pretty cool.
It's basically a phone holder for in your car. You just slap it on the dashboard, put the phone
horizontal.
down, horizontal, face up.
Yeah.
So on its back and horizontal, and it projects it has a screen that goes above and behind the phone, and it projects the app onto the screen.
Why
So
though?
It would only be good
Why
for
not just get
navigation. It'd only be good for navigation.
But, like,
navigation.
Yeah, but I have a phone holder stuck to my
yeah, why
windshield.
don't you
Why not
just
just
tilt it up?
look at my phone screen? Is
Because-
it bigger than my phone screen?
Because it'll be in your field of
be
view.
right in your field of view, so you don't have to actually turn your head and look down.
Oh,
You can just it's right. It sits even with the bottom of your windshield.
oh, I see. So
Did they
you'd put
talk
it
about-
you'd put it in on the driver's side of the dashboard.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Did they talk about how much it is?
They did not, but they're supposed to be. Let's see.
I would just
It looks like global sales started in Q3 of last year, so
Oh.
it's out there to find.
nice. What's
What's
it
it
called?
called?
Yeah.
This particular one is called Hudway Glass.
Oh, I might want to pick one
And
of
you
those
can
up.
see a picture right here where it shows a navigation app.
Oh yeah, so it's like
that,
semi-opaque,
shows-
so
yeah,
it doesn't block
semi-opaque.
your field
Oh,
of
it's
view.
only $50.
There you go.
You can get it at Walmart.
Doesn't block your field of view. Doesn't do anything that might distract as far as having to turn your head to look at your smartphone. Now, obviously, it's not going to work as well as you think or want with things like a media player. Or
Yeah, I wanna
something
watch a movie
that.
while I
Since
drive.
you can't touch it.
Since you can't touch it because you're looking at a projection of what's on your phone versus actually.
That's
what's
pretty cool,
on your
though.
Phone. But
It's for the drivers.
yeah, kind of neat, kind of cool stuff. Let's see. What was Link, Jaron? You really liked this. You go ahead and talk about that.
I don't even know what this is.
This was the 2 terabyte mini. Look at the back of it. Look at the back of it.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
It's-
You were super excited when we found this booth.
It's cool, but I have
super excited.
absolutely no use case for
You're
it.
not excited enough.
So what Link is, it's a pretty much a tiny cubicle computer. You can get it from 256 gigabytes to 2 terabytes. So they're kind of selling it as like storage. They could also
mobile wireless storage on the go.
Has an octa-core 64-bit processor in it, 4 gigs of RAM. So you could put a full-on Linux operating system on there, probably run Plex, and do all sorts of cool stuff. It's waterproof, surprisingly. I have no idea why you would need something like this to be waterproof.
Boats.
But it's cool, and it's there.
Yes, boats.
And it does have a battery in it, so it's a...
How many hours does it say on the back that it's good for, or does it not say?
It doesn't say.
It was a good amount of time.
But there's an internal battery plus an interchangeable battery, so you can add battery to it.
Slightly modular.
While it's still being powered.
Do you remember when we were talking to one of the guys that works on the project, he was saying it is modular? You can open up the bottom and you could actually...
I don't think the first model is. It sounded like they wanted to get to that eventually.
Oh, where you could upgrade the CPU, you could upgrade the storage, things
so
like that.
They say battery standby's 2 weeks, and if you're actually streaming something, it's 5 hours.
Yeah,
it's really cool. So you can connect up to 30 devices connected at once, 15 individual streams going out to devices.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And it has an LTE chip in it, so you can connect it straight to AT&T or Verizon.
You can throw a SIM card in there and...
So, like for a Tinker, it sounds awesome.
Or for someone who needs a lot of storage on the go.
Yeah, if you're like a mobile homer, like I know, I have a couple friends I know, and my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law. They're travelers, so
it would also probably work well for presentations.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah. Right.
So it comes in all sorts of storage sizes. 256, it's like, that could be a little bit smaller, but it goes all the way up to 2 terabytes.
Yeah.
So full-on 2 terabyte SSD in there for $1,150.
2 terabytes is not nearly enough.
It's expensive. What?
Not for,
what do you have?
This thing is tiny, though.
I run 6 terabytes at my house.
So that picture is real-life size.
But
we held it. We handled one. It's small.
2 inches by 1 inch.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's tiny.
2 by 2 by 1. Isn't it?
It's very well built,
2 by 2
waterproof. It's cool, but
I mean that's like my phone.
I wish I had a use case for it.
That's tiny. My phone's. I mean, it's thicker than my phone, but like
it's like half the size of your phone, but twice as thick. It's like if you folded your phone in half.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep, 1 inch by 1 inch by 2 inches.
That's pretty cool.
No, 2 inches.
And
by 2
you can
inches
put
by
a
1
full
inch.
OS on there, like a Linux.
Full
OS?
Linux.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
So kind of neat.
I want one.
I think that it has a lot of potential, but like Jaron said, for your average user, you'd have to have a decent use case.
And it charges via USB-C, and they were hypothesizing that they could hook it up to a monitor. It's funny that they didn't know, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Link. This was one that we looked at for just a minute. It's called Decibels. They're custom molded earphones. So they
take a mold of your ear?
No, that's the thing. Is they don't have to, because the way these are set up is they come and you take the plastic part off, put it in hot water.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. That's like how they make mouth guards.
Yeah, like mouth guards.
But I don't want to stick that in my ear.
Well, why not?
Because it's warm and wet.
Yeah. I don't know what you do in your ear, but
like a horrible wet willy.
So you stick it, you push it around in your ear, so it gives you the exact shape of the inside of your ear.
What if it gets stuck?
Well,
what if you don't push hard enough?
Then it won't work.
Can you remold it?
You can remold it.
I saw, there's another ad for that type of plastic out there to fix all sorts of things. It's like a MacGyver video, but they sell little like 2x4 pieces of plastic, and they show people like fixing all sorts of things by molding this plastic by getting it wet. So that's a cool application to make headphones.
So kind of cool. We didn't demo them or anything, but the one thing that it looked like this kind of bummed me out, because at first I looked at it and it looked like it was something you could just clip onto any existing headphones, but you have to use the headphones that it comes with. They're the ones that fit on it, and I can't say anything about Decibels headphones. I don't know. I've never tried them. So,
but if they would like to send them to us for free,
we would definitely do a review on that. Action.
Oh yeah, then you'd have a really weird one because your ear holes are odd.
Yeah,
Can we go one episode without talking about Tony's ear holes,
I don't
please?
think we can, because we're going to talk about it later when I review the Braggy headphone.
Oh yeah,
every few minutes at CES, talking about his ear holes. Every single person he could talk to.
What's up with his ear
mentioned
holes?
his ear
They're
holes.
adorable. What are you
They're
talking about?
huge.
Yeah,
and he's proud of it.
I'm not proud of. Actually, I think it gives me slightly super hearing.
Yeah.
lets in
takes
more
in
sound
more
waves.
stuff.
Yeah,
Consequently, like more spiders and stuff get inside of it.
I have to clean those out daily.
Yeah.
Okay, one last thing that I wanted to hit on from CES, from the stuff that we brought back. This was pretty cool. Jaron and I got to demo Audio Spotlight by Holosonics. This was a speaker setup for your home that had highly directional speakers. So we were sitting on the same couch watching two separate shows on two separate TVs.
On the same couch.
On the same couch, next to each other, two separate shows on two separate TVs with two separate sound feeds.
No way.
And we couldn't hear the other person's sound feed
What?
at all. Yeah.
What? That's
It's
black
like
magic.
It's like a sound laser beam.
That's cool.
It was pretty neat.
Now, granted, CES was extremely noisy, so there might have been, if it was a
If you were
quiet environment, you might be able to hear it, but we're not sure.
Pretty awesome.
Well, I wouldn't doubt if you could hear a little bit of sound spillage, but it was literally like walking into a sprinkler spray of sound.
They use that at a lot of restaurants too. Like you'll notice you walk right underneath it and you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
This
a
would be
speaker
amazing
above
if
my
you
head.
had kids, because if they wanted to watch TV, they would have to sit completely still and not move to hear the sound. And then the adults wouldn't have to hear the terrible show that they're watching.
Or if you want to watch a show and your baby's sleeping, that happens to me a lot right now. During nap time, my wife wants to watch one of her shows, but sometimes they get little loud and rumbly, and sucks to listen to the TV on really low volume. So she could point that right at her face.
Exactly.
And
the one thing we didn't get to try there was if they turned the subwoofers off because you couldn't hear them very well with all the CES noise going on anyway. So all we heard was the mids and the highs.
Yeah, and I bet the lows have a lot more spillage being a lower frequency.
That's what I was just saying. Not what I was just saying, but what I was asking the guy. I was like, "Do you guys have a subwoofer that's directional too? Because that spreads out a lot more."
Right. That's an attachment that goes under your seat.
Yeah,
Right.
and he said that they do. They have the subwoofer capabilities and devices, but they didn't have them on CES because you couldn't really hear them anyway with
How
all
convenient.
the background noise. But pretty cool tech. It's kind of in its infancy a little bit still, so it could keep going and progressing and be something pretty dang cool. All right, one last thing for CES.
Oh, yeah.
It is time for the swag bag.
Oh,
Gimme. Isn't that the JBL
there's a
logo?
That looked like a Kickstart.
That's the Razer logo.
That's
Razer.
the Razer logo. I know. Duh.
All right. I'm not going to lie. CES 2017 was a desert of swag.
Nothing.
There was
on the
almost
swag.
nothing.
Or that's what they want us to think because they kept all the cool stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
There
you
was
gotta-
no cool
We'll
stuff.
have to go to every single booth next year.
Let me tell you.
single one.
I think maybe if you can show that you're part of a larger media outlet,
Right.
they might be like, okay,
Yeah,
here's
we've
some
got
free
the stuff
stuff.
in the back.
But when you're just Joe Schmo that somehow scammed their way in, not like us.
They would ask, how many listeners do you have? No, we're not going to say.
Oh, you fall into this category where we shake.
billion.
This is where we shake your hand and you give us a business card
Yeah.
and then walk away.
So there might be better swag opportunities if you're a bigger outlet, but we got a little bit. Drink koozies.
Oh, drink koozie. We could have used this
Yeah.
earlier.
Oh yeah.
Drink koozies.
Yeah. From
And-
Battery Belt.
Owen wanted a pen. So we got Owen a pen.
I love these things.
It's a
They
very, very basic pen.
Yeah,
yeah.
my
Yeah.
And we got a pen for Owen and James.
my Geeka.
And what
It's
else?
black, matte
It's
black.
matte black with orange. It looks like a
Dude, this
pen I've
is
never
dope.
had before.
Did we talk about this last time? We talked about this last time, didn't we?
No, it's lame though. It's
No,
not
that's
bad.
why we should talk about it.
Okay.
I forgot about this device. So it's called the Trum Stand S, and it's billed as the most elegant Bluetooth speaker.
It looks like a phonograph.
Looks like a phonograph, exactly. So I saw that and I'm like, well, that's pretty neat. And then the guy demoed it for me. Sounded like garbage.
like phonographs.
Not
Was
good.
he one of those people that he was kind of like
And
deaf to his own
then-
product?
And then he said
Sounds
the price.
great.
He's like,
It
"Oh,
sounded-
they paid me to be here.
It sounded bad, and honestly, I think if I was looking at the name, it said created or envisioned by or whatever, and then I looked at the name tag. It was the same last name, so it's either the guy himself that designed it or maybe a relative. But
Of the
anyway,
phonograph? Of the original
this,
phonograph?
No, of this.
What's it
device
called?
here? Trum Stand S.
Oh, he sent a relative to promo it at CES.
I don't know.
Look, you're going to go and you're going to sell this thing.
So get this. So I'm listening to it and thinking this sounds like trash, and so I turned to the guy and I'm like, "So what's the retail price going to be on this?" He's like, we're thinking about $2,000.
What?
Dollars?
Rupees or what? Because come on,
$2,000 American dollars for a terrible sounding, unique looking Bluetooth speaker.
It was unique.
it looks
friend
like you need to look at the picture, guys. Go look
Are
online.
going
What's it
out
called?
of business.
Trum Stand.
Trum stand. It
stand.
looks like a megaphone
Yes.
glued to a block of
And
plastic.
I don't know if maybe this device was broken that he was demoing, or if it was just too loud at
It
CES.
doesn't matter. Like
But
for
either
ugh.
way, it sounded poopy, and $2,000 for
Yep.
this thing.
Was he exaggerating? Was he like, here's a
I-
couple of Joe Schmoes?
I hope so, because
How
This
much
is for
would
the
you
new,
pay
this
for
is,
that?
This you should ship this to the new president.
if I was to Trum Stand.
Trum stand.
There's
S.
no P though.
It's close enough. You say it quick enough, they don't know the difference.
So looking at that without listening to it, I thought maybe it was like $100.
Yeah, it looks like something you'd
was
buy
like-
at Brookstone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
I was like, oh, that's probably like $100 or something.
Let's just throw this out there and see who will buy it.
After I listened to it, I thought nobody should pay more than $50 for this.
$30, right?
I don't
And
know.
then-
I'm thinking 30. 30 is
Yeah.
the max.
$30
Oh, yeah.
is what I go into
It's-
Brookstone looking for a mistake for.
It was-
I'm like, I'm gonna go regret spending some money. I'm
It
gonna go to
was-
I
Brookstone.
need a
like
mistake today.
Kickstarter, but
It
in
was
real life.
bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It was poopy.
I love wandering through Brookstone and being like, I would never, but hey,
Brookstone
cool.
is like, I feel like the adult Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And then couple of stress balls.
Oh, stress balls!
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys got to fight for the ghost one.
I get the
You can
ghost
have the
one.
ghost one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
football.
easy.
That was easy.
I was
Since I'm
hoping you
closer
weren't
to
going to
Tony.
get the football.
Since I was closer to Tony, I grabbed it.
That is the extent of our swag.
It was
Wow.
terrible.
From
For
CES.
real?
That's
Yes.
it.
So if you put,
We did not get
next
anything
time,
better.
Next time, you just need to wear like a logoed shirt of some other bigger outlet.
Just wear a logo shirt of like IGN.
Look,
or
animals do it in
Seriously.
nature all the time. So why can't we just like?
It's camouflage.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Impersonating a more effective predator.
Yep.
Just don't walk by the CNET booth when you're wearing a CNET
Yeah.
shirt.
They'll be like, hey, you help us with this display. Oh, maybe that's how the Razer guys made off with that laptop.
Oh, there you go.
They just had
Oh,
some
yeah.
Razer.
Slowly
Look.
cracking the code.
Yeah.
We will carry this to
Hey,
your
I'll go
booth
put
for
this.
you.
I'll go put this in the truck. My
carry-
turn.
Why are you going left? It's a shortcut.
It's a shortcut. Sounds good.
Just carry a ladder with you. Nobody will question you.
Exactly. I'm gonna do that.
All right.
That's it.
Can I do my thing now?
Yeah, James. do your thing.
Yes!
I love this part.
Yay! James's lists, and they're so awesome. So, my list that I wanted to come up with because I didn't have very much content provided that I found this last week.
The word you're looking for is prepared.
Yeah, I didn't prepare a lot of
Hey.
stuff. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to put together a list of my most anticipated games of 2017, so looking forward. And what I discovered while I was making this list was I need to buy a PS4.
Are you sure that's what
I
you discovered?
don't know.
I don't think that's what you discovered.
Well, because a lot of these games are going to be PlayStation exclusive games. That's the problem.
Okay, I need to hear this list because I can't think of a single PS4 game coming out this year.
Are you serious?
that
Red
man?
Dead
I
Redemption.
really,
Coming
really
in
want.
at number
not
four,
exclusive,
four is Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I am so excited for this game. I
What
can't
about
wait. I
5?
can't
You
wait.
don't have 5?
What?
5 games? You only have 4?
Yeah. I literally went through the entire list, and there's only 4 games I'm really excited for in 2017.
Okay.
So, Star Wars Battlefront 4 or Battlefront 2 is coming in at the number 4 spot. I'm just excited if it kind of hinges a little bit because I am on one hand excited to have another Star Wars game, and I'm hoping, but it comes with like a contingency that I'm hoping for them that they include the first 3 movies, so the Clone Wars in there, because playing as some of the droids were some of the best parts of Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original Star Wars Battlefront 2. Does anybody? Okay.
You're not going to get that.
I never got to play those, but
I
I
didn't
agree with
either.
you, and I'm very excited.
They're really good, and I'm hoping that they bring back the original play style of the Star Wars Battlefront
They won't.
series.
Also, the
Yeah,
list
it's
is
a
out.
little bit. It was a little bit restricted. Battlefront 1.
In that case, it's going off of my list.
Why is the list out of order?
Here's what I'm
know.
here's what I'm predicting for Battlefront 2. More of the same like Battlefront 1 with a single player campaign. That's what you're going to get.
Do you guys see my parade? Because I got rained on.
I don't think so.
This is only number 4. We got to get all the way
All
to
right,
number 1. Yeah.
number
You know what?
3.
Hey,
Moving
I think
on.
they saw all of the negative reviews about it, and I think they're really going to try hard. And this is just me hoping.
No, hang
and this
on.
is my hope.
Hang on. The negative reviews were all just because there was no single-player campaign and there wasn't enough multiplayer content. They're just going to add more of that.
They're just going to do that.
The thing that I liked about the original Star Wars Battlefront series is a lot of it was just made up of NPCs. So, like, you would spawn it on a map, and it's all about taking and controlling certain points.
NPC stands for non-player character.
Yeah. But it wasn't like, I guess it was kind of a campaign, but it kind of, never mind. Anyway.
Well, the reviews have been more specific than just that. Like, a lot of people wanted more space battles, and they added that in the DLC, and I'm hoping there'll be more of that in Battlefront 2.
Yeah, but they're not as open world as it was in the original Star
I know.
Wars
I
Battlefront series.
I hope they will be more open world.
So coming in at number 3 is a PlayStation exclusive, which is the Insomniac series Spiderman standalone game. It's not going to be based on any comic books series that's out. It's not based on any movies. It's just a brand new Spider-Man story.
I'm excited for this.
I think it uses the voice cast of the movie.
Does it? Does Tom Holland?
I want to say yes. I could be wrong.
Okay. I'm not super worried about that, but as far as everything that I've read for it, though, it is a completely standalone game. It's not based on the movies. It's not based on the comic books. It's kind of like its own little thing. Which, by the way, I really hope that who is it that does the Batman Arkham series games?
Rocksteady.
I would love to see Rocksteady, as much as I love my Batman games, I'd love to see them tackle another superhero. I'd love to see them do like an Aquaman or something.
I feel like they've been trying to, from the stuff I've read, but they just haven't been able to do it.
Really?
You know, like, or maybe I was just reading fan theories.
I love their.
I revoke what I said.
I love their art style.
I
Coming
rescind
in
my comments.
at number 2 is the new God of War. So originally, it's all been.
Is that coming out this year?
Yeah, it's coming out. Yeah,
That looks
2017.
pretty cool. I'll say that looks pretty
It's
cool.
dealing with the Norse gods this time, which I
is-
don't know very much about.
Norse gods are awesome.
Yeah, so
Very, very cool. And I never got into the God of War games.
really.
Really.
Oh, I really liked them. They were just they're a little bit of hack and slashy, but I had a good time with them. The story was really good.
I'll tell you, seeing the previews for that new one, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good.
I don't feel like at this point I can't really speak to it too much, just because I haven't played through it yet, obviously. But I feel like it's going to be a good jumping on point for this generation's God of War fans. And then I have a couple of honorable or dishonorable mentions before I get to number 1.
Oh.
Dishonorable mention number 1 is freaking Destiny 2. Destiny to me is like a bad ex-boyfriend, and it just keeps
got a lot of
trying to
those?
draw me back, and I don't want to go back. Red Dead Redemption.
Interesting choice of.
Yeah, why didn't you say bad
Words.
ex-girlfriend?
Nah, it's an ex-boyfriend. It's pretty abusive,
Okay.
physically and emotionally. And
Oh,
mentally.
that got dark.
Yeah.
that
Red
escalated
Dead
quickly.
Redemption 2. So here's the thing. I picked up Red Dead Redemption for my Xbox One, but it's the 360 version, and it's backwards compatible now.
Right.
And I can't get into it. As much as I try to play that game, I
How
can't
much
get into
have
it.
you played?
I played 30 minutes.
That's why. You got to give it 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay, I'll give it 2 hours, then I'll come back and tell you how I like it. I'm excited to see at least Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, although that's more of like a cabinet game to me every time I play it.
Every time I see games like that, I think, I really want to get that and play it. And then I remember I suck so bad at fighting games that it's not even fun for me.
Yeah.
Like, I never even bothered to get the Injustice game and play it.
Yeah,
And
I saw
I'm a
it.
DC fanboy.
I watched the if you like that story, just go on YouTube and then just watch all the cutscenes. It's like watching a movie.
That's a good idea.
It's really good. And Mass Effect Andromeda. I haven't played any of the Mass Effect series, but
That's
Andromeda
probably my-
is
I'm
really good.
excited.
That's probably
for this
my
one.
number 1 game this
Yeah.
year. Maybe
Really?
number 2.
And last but not least, on the honorable/dishonorable list is Halo Wars 2. I played the first one. I really liked it, although I would have liked it better had it have come on.
That's an RTS, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got some sort of free thing on Slick Deals came out for the Halo 2.
Probably
It got
Halo-
canceled.
oh yeah.
the
It
beta got canceled for that, the Blitz mode.
I downloaded it. I got whatever it was, I downloaded it.
What?
Yeah.
No, I clicked
I have it.
buy and it never worked.
Yeah, mine worked. I downloaded it.
what the...
Yeah.
They don't like Jerry.
But then it was just like the content or something. It wasn't actually the game. I don't know.
That's
I
weird.
think it was like a map pack.
This is how we made the
Anyway.
game. Coming in at number 1, if you haven't guessed it by now, it's Legend of Zelda Switch Breath of the Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Nintendo Switch is basically the Legend of Zelda player. It's
Zelda
one and the same thing.
It's the Zelda platform.
It
It's
is.
the Zelda platform.
That game does look really cool. I'm still a little bit reticent. I mean, I already pre-ordered it, but I'm still a little worried that Nintendo's never done a big open world game like this.
Yeah.
Never.
See, my thing is, I'm going to wait to get the Switch and Zelda. I'm going to watch you two play it, and which will convince me to get it.
I just came out with a theory. Did the GameCube have a Zelda game?
Yeah, Wind Waker.
Okay, never mind. Theory over.
Okay.
What was your budding theory?
A Nintendo console is only successful if it has a Zelda game at launch. Or near launch.
I don't think Wind Waker was close to launch.
Theory stands!
Yeah, I think Wind Waker came out like at least a year after the GameCube.
That was a good game, though. I played the HD
You didn't
version.
like the GameCube system?
I did not.
I liked
like
it. I
Wind
bought it,
Waker.
but it wasn't
Yeah.
very successful, though.
No, yeah, that's true.
I tried to play Wind Waker. I've always been a Zelda fan, but apparently I needed to get the HD one for Wii U because they cut out all the garbage I didn't like about the GameCube version. Did you guys read about that?
No.
So the HD version for Wii U cut out a bunch of the sailing stuff where you have to sail for 10 minutes in between islands and fish and bomb and all
That's
that.
why I didn't play that game.
All that bull crap.
Oh,
So-
see, I never played it on the GameCube. All I know is
yeah,
the Wii
so
U.
they cut down on that significantly so that you go from more like action sequence to action sequence or dungeon to dungeon. And so apparently I should go back and give it another shot now, but on the GameCube, I probably put about 10 hours into it and I was just like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm tired of sailing around looking for an island. Screw this.
Did you not get a map to show you where the islands are?
Map? What's a map?
Oh, all right. It like starts you out with a map now. It's great. Shows you where everything is.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
That's my list of stuff.
That's a good list.
It's a good list.
I like that list.
I would only switch God of War with Mass Effect. Then I completely agree with your list.
See, I've never played any of the other Mass Effect
Mass
games.
Effect games, it took me so long to get into it, but once I did, oh man, it had me.
Yeah, but how many hours did you have to pour into
10.
Mass Effect? Oh, for real?
For me to get into it.
Oh.
The series itself lasts.
And since I'm a completionist, it's probably claimed 150 hours of my life, all
How do
three
you
games.
find time to
Wow.
do that stuff?
That was before kids.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would probably put it around 150. It's between 40 and 50 hours per game, and there's 3 of them.
Oh.
And now I will say, for anyone that wants to go back and play those that hasn't played them yet, the first one plays a little rough, which is why Jaren took 10 hours to get into it. The game mechanics are, I'll be honest, they're a little bit sloppy because it was one of BioWare's, to my knowledge, first attempts at a shooter-style game. Because Mass Effect is a shooter RPG hybrid, third-person shooter RPG hybrid.
For real?
Yeah. So you got your space gun and you go around and shoot things and you got a shield and some special powers and
Base
stuff.
gun.
And
Your space laser.
it's called a space gun.
Is that really what it's called?
No.
Wow, that's super
I call
straightforward.
it a space gun because it never needs to reload and you never have to pick up ammo for it. At least in the second and
Those
third.
are good guns.
One of those, yeah.
Yeah, and
Second
so-
one refines a ton, though, and it's amazing.
Yeah, the second one is primo.
And
So
the third
Where's
one's
a good
really
jumping
good,
on
too.
point? Should I start with number 1? Or?
I would start with number 1. Just know that the gameplay definitely comes second to the story, but the story's really good.
Okay, so that's my question. If I want to jump in, I'm kind of like, can I just skip it? But it's got a story mode that's because same thing with my Halo. Like with Halo, I wouldn't jump in at like Halo 3 or 4 because the story before that's so cool with 1 and 2 and
Right.
everything.
2, you mean? Not 1.
Halo
2.
and 2.
Halo 1,
Halo
Combat
and Halo
Evolved is
and
one of the
Halo.
greatest games of all time. Period. End of line.
It's a good game.
It was good.
that-
It was good at the time.
That,
yes.
how long does it take to beat it? I mean, realistically speaking.
Halo or Mass Effect?
Halo, Combat Evolved.
It took me like 12 hours, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
10 to
Yeah.
12.
It's not super long.
Don't play it on Legendary, though. It's
I mean,
too hard.
Yeah, I played it on easy and got through it in 5.
Dude, that's how I play most campaigns. Is I play it either on like regular or just below regular.
So I play through the campaign. Originally started playing through the campaign to overcome my motion sickness I get from any new first person shooter,
Right.
and to learn the controls.
Yeah.
And then I ended up loving Halo. So I actually went through Combat Evolved on Legendary, and
By yourself?
Mhm.
Did
And
you beat it?
Even
Yeah.
the library?
Yeah,
my God.
exactly. With the flood, yes.
Oh, man.
That's awful.
It took me over 20 hours to beat it on Legendary, though. Like
I remember-
went slow.
Well done, Owen.
When I was a senior in high school, that game came out. And I remember,
Halo Combat Evolved?
yeah,
Wow.
I remember people complaining up until that point that video games had gotten too easy.
Yeah.
And as soon as Halo came out, you soon started seeing things like people complain video games are too easy. That's just because they haven't played Halo on Legendary.
Yeah. Once you play Halo on Legendary and get stuck in a death,
Oh,
a death point,
cycle.
I call it a death point,
Yeah.
which is a death checkpoint, where you basically have one instant to change your. See, in Halo 1, they didn't learn in Halo Combat Evolved, they hadn't learned that yet, that people could get stuck right when they died. And it really sucked because you'd have to revert to last save or something like that. But in the further iterations of the game, they were like, okay, well, let's roll you back to a checkpoint farther back. Then.
Yeah.
Because you had one split second to decide to make some slightly different move to try and survive.
All right, question. What game did you guys find that death trap on? The death save. Was that all Halo for you guys? Because for me, it was Prince of Persia, the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one, too, for
That's
that.
a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Prince of Persia, like the really, really old school one?
Yeah, the first Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about the one that came out for PS2 and Xbox, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, is that not the first one?
No.
Dude, that's an old game.
Really?
The original Prince of Persia came out in...
Is it like a
late
a
80s?
Pitfall
Yeah.
type game? Oh,
Yeah.
Never mind.
Prince of
Yeah,
Per-
yeah,
the one for
old-
PS2.
I played the one for PS2, and you could definitely get yourself saved right at death.
Oh, yeah.
Like, right, you could get a checkpoint right at that.
Yeah, I never ended up beating the game because of that reason.
I've done that to myself on Witcher 3. Like, I'd save accidentally right before someone behind me shoots me with an arrow or something.
Yep.
Do you want to load last save? Yes, I do. Dead. Dang it.
Ah.
So, anyway.
Mass Effect,
I'm
anyway.
really excited for Mass Effect.
You can get it for cheap, all three, for like $10 on some sales. So, yeah, I would get those.
I'm gonna have to check that out. The story's pretty good because that's what I'm into. I'm into those first-person shooters, but I like the story mode.
So the thing that made one of the things that made the Mass Effect story so unique was the dialogue options.
And that's what makes it so hard to get into at the same time. Because there's just so much
That's
characters,
something
so
I-
many characters to talk to, so many dialogue options. But once you get into it, you really like.
That's one of the things I really liked about Titanfall 2 story mode too.
Yeah.
You could choose to say different responses and
Exactly.
and interact with the robot.
Now, imagine that, but add 5 or 6 options to each.
Yeah, that's a lot.
There's a lot.
That's for a completionist. How did that work?
Yeah, because
Oh, it was hard.
whatever
I would
you
have to redo every conversation.
exactly whatever you say changes what they respond.
Yeah,
with
right.
from the NPC.
And you can
exponential
seduce
conversation.
NPCs on there, too.
You can seduce several women or men.
What?
Your choice.
Yeah.
Choice is yours, a Chakarama.
I'll tell you one thing I haven't done it in Mass Effect though is I never went back and played through as a girl.
Neither
I've
did
always
I.
been curious.
Does
if
that change the dialogue again?
Well, because
That's
you
what I
choose the
wanna
character
know.
in the first game, and that's your character for all three.
because your save continues.
Oh, really? Through games?
It propagates throughout all 3 games.
That's pretty
The
cool.
Some of the decisions you made in Mass Effect 1 change how things
gameplay?
happen in Mass Effect 3.
Oh, that's
Yep.
infinitely
It's
too
really-
many choices.
It's really cool.
Oh, that'd be
That's too
maddening.
much.
Yeah,
My
that'd be
brain.
what if I made a bad choice 2 games ago and that affects?
Well, they never pigeonhole you that badly.
Okay.
So you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a great set
Somebody's
of
like,
games.
I got this special secrety secret because
And
I
I'm not
did-
gonna tell you.
because I did this in the first game.
You shunned Sarah.
I
I'd have
played
to-
Dragon Age Inquisition solely on Mass Effect 3 because it's the same studio, the Mass Effect trilogy, and I liked Mass Effect so much better than Dragon Age
I couldn't
Inquisition.
get into Dragon Age.
Yeah,
I played the first 2, and I really liked the first 2. I haven't played Inquisitions yet. That's still on my list.
Inquisition's really good. It took me like 120 hours to beat it because I'm a completionist.
Your average player could probably beat it in like 50.
You could play the whole Mass Effect trilogy in the same amount of time you played Dragon Age Inquisition.
I can't recommend that trilogy enough. Mass Effect is definitely one of my all-time favorite game series. So, Owen,
Hey,
what do you got? What do you got
hey.
for us?
So, well, I just wanted to announce. That,
Oh, wait.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Should we hit on Cody's question about Zelda real quick? While we're
Oh,
still
yeah,
talking
while
about
we're still
games?
here.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It is. It's an RPG.
Questionable.
I agree with
would-
Owen. It's an RPG.
It's got
I would
puzzles, right?
That doesn't make an
It's
RPG.
got
It's-
upgrades to your character.
Does it
and
have
weapons.
choices that influence the game?
No, not
Then
even a little
that
bit.
to me is an RPG.
Oh.
That it doesn't have choices.
No, that
Needs them?
Yeah, it needs
It needs
choices.
it. Yeah, I agree.
To affect the game.
And
So what was an RPG like back in the 80s and stuff?
in the 80s, that would be like Ultima and stuff like that.
There were choices that would influence the whole game in those.
I don't know. I never played any of those.
Well, because the whole point is role playing.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're-
what's another RPG you could that you could say is clearly an RPG?
Fable.
I would
Fable.
say.
Okay.
I would say the thing that Zelda, up until Breath of the Wild might change, lacks to make it an RPG is you don't actually level up your character.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
at
you
all.
don't.
You get
Well-
you get new gear, and you can get new gear
That
in
feels
any
the
kind of game.
That feels
it's
the
got-
same to me.
Yeah, it's like
It's
puzzles.
Not, it's
to get,
not the same though.
It feels the same.
and you could
But it's
complete
not.
and you could complete the game without getting the upgraded hardware, therefore making a choice in the game.
Let's go to Google. A role-playing game is a game in which each participant assumes the role of a character, generally in a fantasy or science fiction setting,
Zelda.
that can interact
Then
within the
that's every
game's
game.
imaginary world.
That's
Yeah,
every game.
That's every game. That
That's-
you
that's
just
Halo.
described.
Uncharted is
That's
not
Uncharted.
science
That's
fiction
not
or fantasy.
Sudoku. That's not Sudoku.
Are you kidding me? Uncharted's full of fantasy.
No.
You went into like a 300-year-old tomb and you got like ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Science fiction.
Because people get there before you.
Aliens.
That's why.
Someone
That's
had
why
a,
there's ammo.
someone had a blue rock that they eat that makes them super strong. I mean,
That's pretty science
That's
fiction.
fantasy.
The best
right there.
game ever.
Is that really in the game?
That's in the second one.
Yeah. There's zombies in the first 3 games. It's
So that's
kinda
legit.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty realistic.
I would say that up till this point, Zelda is an action adventure game.
Huh.
It is.
It is an action adventure game.
I would say RPG light.
Barely at the
Some
stretchiest
sort of-
stretch.
So
it
it's
is an
like
RPG
a little bit of a
light.
modded, yeah, because you could make decisions in the game that affect gameplay
But
by not getting upgraded
You know, and
stuff,
I-
by not completing
I
some
guess
puzzles.
yeah,
have a
but
different experience.
Here's the thing, though: is you say you upgrade your weapons. No, you don't. You get a couple of new weapons.
That's the
you
same.
get a slingshot. You get a bow and arrow. You
Well,
don't do anything to make those
Master
any
Sword
better.
is you get better swords, right?
better
Yeah,
shield.
but you
right?
can't upgrade
I
the.
wouldn't call that
It-
upgrading.
that feels like
swords.
upgrading a sword.
It kind of is, and I can
It's-
see where you're
it's-
coming from.
It's borderline. It's borderline.
Yeah.
So
Because that was cool when
I think-
you had your buddy come over and show you the Ocarina of Time, how you get like the big sword.
yeah,
That was
the
pretty
big
cool.
Goron sword.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like we're gonna have a split decision on this one.
Yeah.
With
I do not think
James
it's an
and I
RPG.
saying it is not an RPG,
Yeah, I
and
think
you
it
two
is.
saying that
It feels
is.
like Owen and I agree on a lot of things.
Yeah,
It's because you sit on the same side of the table.
And we're both Slytherin.
yeah.
Also true. Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff, because we're Huffletuff.
You
don't-
got
we
the
don't have
Huffle
a-
stuff.
We don't have a good one for that.
Slytherin where you slither ain't. Cool.
No.
I will.
You're welcome.
I will only support that because I'm a fellow Hufflepuff.
And we accept everybody.
Yeah,
We're like UVU.
it would hurt.
Jaron, is Jaron getting up to go to the bathroom?
Yep.
Can't hold his due.
Yep.
We need to wrap it up. I need to get out of here.
The
Okay.
dude that he did get into his
Yeah,
system,
half of the can.
half the can is running
Spit
through.
up the other half.
So I just want to announce out there that now that the people that got left out of the
You're
Mario
having
run,
another baby.
no,
Oh.
not that.
Okay.
The people that got left out of the Mario run, anybody
Oh,
that didn't have
Android?
Apple, yeah, basically Android, me, which I take very personally.
Me as well.
It's coming in March.
Bam.
We'll get to play 3 levels and then get automatically charged $10 to continue playing.
You're not missing out on much.
You know what would
Really?
be? You know what would be really funny is if it was cheaper on Android because that's what Angry Birds did.
Oh, really?
Angry Birds came out on iOS first, and it was
Suckers.
like $2 or $3 for the game, and then it came out on Android
For
and it was
99
free.
cents. Oh, yeah. I never paid for Angry Birds.
It was just ad supported.
Oh, yeah. And the last thing I want to talk about was they finally, Samsung, they were blowing people up.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, like, oh, my phone's
I
blowing
read-
up.
I read-
and,
I
they
read
were
some of these articles.
literally blowing up. So they said sorry that we lit your leg on fire.
My bad.
They're like, oh, sorry. Here's what happened. They actually have some pretty cool pictures on Gadget of their battery testing facility where they were, and it is like hundreds of thousands of batteries. It looks like.
So
to
what
hook
I
up.
read was I think it was 1 or 200,000 phones and 30,000 batteries outside of the phones, like in chargers.
Just so what they found was, in their haste to make a battery and to make the phone slimmer and smaller, even though it's a phablet, the Note 7, was it, right?
Note 7.
And so they put some of the transistors outside of the case. It was too small to fit inside the assembly inside, and that caused it to short out. Okay, it burned them up, started them on fire. Which, have you guys ever seen any of the Samsung? Have you seen stabbing the battery and making it explode?
Oh,
thing?
it's crazy.
It is nuts to think that
It's like instant reaction.
yeah, and it's loud.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so then Samsung, in an effort to fix it, they basically wanted to say, look, it's not our OS, and it's not our hardware. It's just the battery. That's what they were trying to. That's their save here.
They're basically saying it is just the
It
two
was
manufacturers of batteries
So
that they used.
yeah, and so the second one, in their rush to push out new batteries, so that first of all they nerfed the if you had a battery, the Note 7 would detect that it's one of the bad ones and like nerf you.
It only let you charge up to like 70%.
Yeah, it was bad. The second one, in their haste to get a new battery out, they had faulty welds in the battery, which caused them to have the same effect, which was blowing up. Not to mention their refrigerators blowing up, or their washing machines blowing up. And what was else? There was one other thing that was blowing up. Was this the Note 7?
Their stock price.
Yeah, well, that was not kablooey.
So what did I miss?
Anyway, Mario Run that's coming out for Android.
I want to revise my review back down to a 5.
Oh.
It feels just like any other mobile game out there, in which I do never play it.
I think I'm just gonna play the first free levels and then not buy it.
I played it on my iPad. I played the first 3 levels, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait till we get our RetroPie set up. Speaking of that, it's right over there on the table.
Yeah.
I have been doing a lot
get around to it.
I've been doing a lot of research on that this week.
Do you want to take it with you?
Yes, I do. I have a lot of.
Do you have the power adapter though?
It didn't come with a power adapter.
Oh,
no.
how are you supposed to power it?
USB.
It had to,
USB-C.
it's supposed to come with
USB.
The,
Oh,
yeah.
it's USB. It's not.
It's got a micro USB.
Okay.
It does have the. It does have the DC jack, but it doesn't on this one. But we don't need it anyway. I've been doing a lot of research on this, and I think I have. It's going to be a good project. We'll do it for.
I should have brought the. I bought a Nintendo 64 controller that plugs into the USB. I should have brought that.
So
Neat.
I found the hack. I have an old PS3, and I'm going to use the DualShocks for that. So
for the Bluetooth.
Nice.
I reviewed all the best controllers to use for making a RetroPie. My brother-in-law made one, and he had some good recommendations for overclocking speeds and stuff like that to get the Nintendo 64, which is what we specifically want out of this one.
Yep.
But he's, he has that. He built an arcade based off RetroPie, an
cool.
arcade cabinet, and got the buttons. I'm just going to do, but with PS3 with the DualShock, the DualShock controller from PS3 and PS4 rated as like the best overall controller to play most of the games with. So I happen to have an old PS3 laying around, and I'm going to use that.
Nice.
So we'll do that as a video. I think I'll do that as
nice.
when I put it together and stuff. We'll do it as a video, and we'll have a full instruction set on how to
Well, I was
make your
going
own
to say, you
RetroPie.
can just record some of the stuff on just give me all the video files. when
Yeah,
we get done.
so I'll do that, and it'll be fun. You guys will see.
Cool.
We'll put it up for. I don't know if we'll do it as a Patreon initially,
No,
or
let's put it up.
we'll
as
put it up for
normal.
everybody. Okay,
Yeah.
It's a fun project. From what I've seen on the videos, you can choose any system. I'm not going to go as far. Probably not going to go all the way to PS1 or anything, but I don't think it can handle it.
RetroPie.
Speaking of the Pi, though, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the
Asus?
Intel. Yeah, the Asus is coming out with their new thing.
Their Pi competitor.
Yeah, and so they call it the Tinker.
It's a Pi
Asus-
competitor. They call it Cake.
Yeah, the
Really?
No.
Cake. No. It's called the Tinker.
Dang
And
it.
this thing comes with a variant of Debian of Linux, which means it can run Kodi. I run Plex. I haven't messed around with Kodi very much, but I've heard.
But you can put tomato on a router.
I could all day. But the Tinker will play 4K video and 24-bit sound.
Dang.
Which is pretty powerful for how small the footprint is for this thing. So
What did they say it was using? Quad-core ARM-17?
Yeah, and the Rocket processor or something like
Rock
that.
chip?
Rock chip, something processor.
I can't remember.
Booster Challenger Apollo.
Yeah, I have it written down. But anyway, it supports. It's got Linux built in on it. It's pretty cool, and
It's a little more expensive than
it
the
is.
Raspberry
So
Pi.
what was the Raspberry Pi? $35.
Yeah, $35.
35. This one comes in at $68, so almost double. But
It's at
for
least
what it
double
can
as
do,
powerful.
yeah, it is, and it's pretty cool. If you were going to build like a little media server, this thing would do the trick and play 4K videos and stuff like that, like natively, which is pretty pretty awesome. Anyway, that's the things I had.
I got two things very quickly.
Neat.
First one, HTC has a new flagship phone, and it's pretty much impressing nobody. It's called the U Ultra. It looks like a Samsung phone now.
Does that say AI on there?
It has a AI in it, so it's
I
probably
like
going to be
that.
just as bad as Google Now or whatever and Siri.
Hey.
So,
Google Now's good.
and it doesn't have a headphone jack, so
It's the worst of all worlds.
it's the worst of all worlds. Has a little mini display above the normal display for some reason, like the LG V10 and V20. So that kind of sounds worthless.
What a waste.
And the reason for removing the headphone jack, it's even better. Well, probably just as good as Apple's response here. We removed the headphone jack because
they're courageous?
we believe the audio experience on the phone can be so much more than just the simple transmission of sound. The sonar-like capabilities of Usonic wouldn't be possible with a 3.5 millimeter headphone
So
jack.
take it
What
out.
are they, what
Come
are they
on.
talking about?
Who knows?
We're talking about a bat. At this
What is
point.
Usonic?
Sonar-like capabilities.
Yeah, but to
That's
take
what
out,
that is.
But does the 3.5 millimeter jack really take up that much?
We have
Real estate.
microphones built into both earbuds that listen for sonic pulses, which can then adjust your audio to match your ear's unique architecture.
What?
We believe the market is ready to push audio into new innovations that benefit consumers' listening experience. So why does it need USB-C for that?
Do you ever have one of those friends that talk just to hear their own voices? I feel like that's kind of like what they're doing right now.
And
Like,
get this, their USB-C headphones that they package with it don't work with other manufacturers' USB-C
Oh,
ports.
good.
What?
It makes no sense.
At least Apple AirPods,
Oh.
the AirPods work with any
Anything.
device.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's-
HTC is... Well, what are they...
They don't
what are they
have the
doing?
clout to do this.
No.
But they're doing
No,
it
not
anyway
even
because
close.
Apple did it for some reason.
you want to be cool.
Has a Snapdragon 821, blah, blah, blah. It's just a boring phone. It's not impressive.
They're going to talk about it more.
Wait
at
a
the
minute. Snapdragon 821. When's it coming out?
I
Isn't
don't know.
that the old one?
Right now?
Isn't that the chip
Few
from
months?
this last year?
Yeah.
That's the current. And,
Yeah.
and 835,
835
is
the new,
coming out
the
soon.
new big boy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So who knows why they're putting it out.
Oh, HTC.
It does have micro SD
Can
expansion.
I get a raspberry
so
for that one?
There's that.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yep.
HTC used to be the top dogs when it came to
Made a phone for
Android.
Google, right?
Yep.
That's the
made
phone
made
that
the first phone for Google.
No, they're not the first one, but they made the G1, which
Yeah.
used Android 1.6.
Yeah,
And was
that was my first Google phone.
The first kind of true competitor to an extent for the iPhone.
Yeah, I love that thing. The slider,
Yeah, with the sliding
keyboard and the whole deal.
sliding screen up to the keyboard.
I rooted that. That was like my first real experience with Android, and it was a blast.
Mm-hmm.
So second story I have, it's full body tracking in VR. So normally in VR, you got like the HTC Vive motion controllers. It'll track your hands. You have the headset on your head. It'll track your head. But some developers have, using 4 Vive motion controllers,
Oh, I saw this.
they have full
4.5?
4
controllers.
4
Vive.
Vive. Okay.
Yes. They have full body tracking. So you have 2 for your hands, 2 for your feet, and using some coding magic,
What do they just like tape them on your feet?
I think so, but the video here, it's really sweet. They were like completely dancing with this guy in VR, and it looked seamless. It looked like a real guy dancing.
So they extrapolate what human motion would be based on 4 points.
5 points: your head,
Yeah,
your
your
hands,
head.
and your feet.
Yeah.
I would really like to see how that stacks up to something that's been thoroughly developed for the Kinect on the Xbox One, because you're supposed to be able to get all of that same functionality out
Supposedly.
of using the Kinect that has 2 cameras and an infrared blaster that senses depth.
I think that technology would be cool for the Void, because then you
Oh,
could
yeah.
see yourself more in their environment, like lift your leg and it would come up.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
And
Yeah.
and that's the kind of stuff that the Kinect on the Xbox One was supposed to have.
Right.
You know, full range of recorded motion for the bodies. It was even supposed to be able to register all 10 of your fingers separately.
Supposed
So,
to have.
I don't.
Did we ever play? Did you ever play with it?
No.
It made Dance better.
Yeah.
That's a way to turn a frown upside
Dancing games, and that's about it. But it
When you fall on your head.
down. Ow!
this video shows the guy like lifting his feet, and it looks exactly like it does in real life. And he's like knocking things off the
Kicking
table.
a chair.
So it helps with like clipping, So
That's cool.
yeah, it looks cool.
It's good, not great.
We don't even know if it's good or great. We haven't
Yeah.
tried it.
And it's just some developers, so who knows if it's actually going to go anywhere.
We're going to start
Looks
running
cool,
into
though.
the problem of limitations as far as like you can shoot and move around. Know what I mean?
Limitations,
Yeah.
such as.
It's going to get to the point where you're going to have to put something on your legs so you can see that you walk around.
Oh yeah.
And then when you're in VR, like you can't run over there because you're restricted to a room. How do you get around that?
There's a couple of ways. The one that I've seen that's most kind of feasible, you could say. Did you watch season 6 of Community?
No.
So there's an episode dedicated to VR in that, and it showed off that device that has been.
Jesus wept.
It shows off that device that's been used in demoed several times in the last 2 or 3 years. It's like a treadmill, except it's round.
I've seen that, yeah.
And you put these socks on your shoes that slip on it.
It's really goofy looking.
And it straps around your waist so you can't walk off of it. And basically you take steps on that, and it's as though you're walking in the virtual world. So the other thing they could do, and I don't know, is, I mean, obviously this is far off, but as far as interactivity with the world on you, is there are some companies out there that are using haptics for things like vests that you can put on so you can feel when you get shot.
Ooh.
And things like that. And it's not that far away from the kind of setups you read about in the...
we had
what's that?
haptics like that at the Void.
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
bit.
Ernest Cline wrote Ready Player One. Have you read that?
Yep.
So you remember they talk about the VR suits they put on where they can feel everything on their body that happens to them in VR?
Yep.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Sounds good.
I don't think we're that far away.
Really quick, side note. I just have a question as a fellow DC fan. What do you think of the show Powerless?
I haven't seen it yet.
Have you seen the trailers for it?
I think I saw one. I mean, some people I've seen review it that I agree with. I have similar tastes with. That didn't like it, and other people I've read liked it quite a bit. Like,
I hope it's not gimmicky.
it's very split so
You
far.
mean like campy?
No, gimmicky. Like once it runs out of gimmicks, it's no longer fun to watch. You know.
So I hope it's good. Honestly, I'm gonna watch it.
I just
I'm
love
gonna give it a
Alan
shot.
Tudyk's on it.
The
Alan
first
Tudyk's way good.
The first episode being Wayne or Lose.
That's the name of it.
Yeah, that's the name of the episode.
Well, it's Alan Tudyk's character's like Bruce Wayne's like cousin
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that.
Wayne or Lose. Sorry, that's a little bit of a funny name to me.
So I don't know. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Okay. Just wondering.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about? No. I think James is.
I am so itching to stand up.
All right, that's it. Take us out, Owen.
You, and you. We hope you care.